Yo, what goes on, everybody? Walker Dead Phoenix here, back again with another video for you guys. This is Season 3, Episode 5 of my Walking Dead Reboot series, titled Prey. Thank you all so much for the love and support. I really do appreciate it. And as always, let's get into this episode now, shall we? The episode begins with Rick looking at Lori's dead body, and he is absolutely pissed. Not only that, he is angry. Rick says, Rick says Thomas Richards, he is dead. John says agreed. Herschel says, wait, Rick, the baby, she needs formula. As Rick exits the infirmary, Maggie says, I'll go and get the supplies for the baby. Billy Greene is like, sis, you sure? Maggie says, yeah. For Lori, I have to. Glenn says, I'll go with you. Maggie says, no, yeah. I think you should stay here. For Rick, for Carl, for John, they just lost someone important to them. Glenn says, fine. Daryl says, don't worry, Glenn. Your girl's in good hands. I'll go with her. Emily says, I'll go too. David's like, well, you're not going nowhere without me. Billy Greene's like, no, not a chance. I'm going as well. I have to. Dr. Stevens then says, well, if you guys are going to go get some baby formula, here, take my car. I get it. You guys don't know me, but it's the least I can do for this baby. Go. Don't just stay in there. Go. Take my keys. Go. As Maggie, Daryl, Billy Greene, David, and Emily leave the infirmary as well. The next shot is Daryl, Maggie, Billy Greene, David, and Emily getting into Dr. Stevens' car, and they just drive out of the prison. And then that's where we get the shot of Beth and Morpheus closing the gates. The next shot pans out where we see Oscar, Alex, and Axel. They come into the other group's cell block as T-Dog is screaming, over here! Hey, Rick, you guys back? Over here! Oscar is like, what the fuck? Then Axel says, what the heck happened here? Alex grabs the keys and opens the cell. As Alan, T-Dog, and Dale come out of the cell, T-Dog screams. He's like, where the fuck is that son of a bitch? Oscar's like, what are you talking about? T-Dog then says, that crazy stupid motherfucker that hit Dale with his gun and locked us in that fucking cell. Axel's like, wait, what are you talking about? T-Dog's like, you know damn who I'm talking about. Alex is like, no, we're being serious. We have no idea who you're even talking about. We came here to the cell block in hopes to ask for more food, and then we found you guys in that cell. What's going on? T-Dog then screams. He's like Dexter. He fucking hit Dale with his fucking gun, and now Dale's face is fucking bleeding. And on top of that, Dexter had us fucking in that cell, and he released Thomas Richards. That's right, your fucking friend, Thomas Richards, is the fucking guy that killed Chris and Rachel. Axel's like, wait, hold up. Dexter, not Dexter, hold up, you're telling me, well, you're telling us that Dexter locked you guys in that cell and that Thomas murdered that little girl and that guy? The fuck? Alex is like, wait, hold on. We didn't even know. We had absolutely nothing to do with it. We swear. Look, this is the first we're hearing about it. Dale's like, I think they're telling the truth. Look at their faces. How can they be lying? T-Dog's like, I don't know, man. I'm on fucking edge. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Rick then makes it to the main cell block. Rick has his Python revolver. He aims it at Oscar, and then that's where Dale's like, whoa, Rick, hold up. They're good. They're okay. Rick's like, they're okay? One of their buddies got my wife killed. Dale's like, What are you talking about? Rick screams, my wife is dead! Guillermo is dead! Because of your fucking little buddy. Dale says, Rick, please listen to me. Listen to me, please. Dexter hit me in the face with his gun. He also threw me, T-Dog, and Alan in a cell. We were just telling these three the same exact thing. And they had no fucking clue. They had no idea. Rick then screams, oh, so you think I'm just gonna fucking believe you? Why should I? Then Alex is like, because we're not bad guys. We're not all that bad of people. Listen, I don't mean to raise my voice or anything. I'm sorry you lost your friends. I'm sorry you lost your wife. But let us help you. Please. Sure, you don't know us that well, but at least give us a shot. Give us a chance. Rick is like, I don't know if I can. That's the thing. I don't know if I can. Dale's like, let me watch them. Please. Let me watch them. Please. I'll keep an eye on them. But Rick, I know you're mad. And you have every right to be. But at least put the gun down. As Rick puts down his gun. The next shot is back at Woodbury, and Avesta is sitting with Bruce, and she is also sitting with Sasha. Sasha looks at Avesta, and she straight up apologizes for what she did, which was knocking Avesta out with her gun. Avesta says, nah, it's alright, I get it. You didn't know me. But I get it. Stuff happens, right? Bruce is like, so, how's your day at Woodbury going so far, Avesta? Like, what do you think of this community? Avesta doesn't say anything. Sasha's like, it's okay to be shy. I mean, it happens to some people. Avesta's like, I'm not shy. It's just, never mind. It doesn't matter. As Avesta just gets up and walks away. Bruce is like, what on earth is that about? The next shot is Daryl, Maggie, Emily, David, and Billy Greene exiting out of the vehicle. They see this place, but it's like all boarded up. David asks Maggie and Daryl, should we split up? Maggie says no. If we split up, there's no telling of what could happen. And walkers can come out at any minute. Daryl says, yeah, something like that. Billy Greene's like, well, how do you want to do this, sis? Maggie says, we go in a straight direction, right? Like, in that direction right there, straight forward. We look at the windows, and if we see no walkers inside the building, we break the windows. And we go inside the building. And if there's any walkers inside, we have to kill them. David's like, agreed. If there's any walkers, I should be able to kill them. Maggie says, yeah, same here. Maggie breaks down the window as Maggie and Daryl, Billy Greene, Emily, and David enter the building. They look around the building and they see some blood, but not a lot. As they are walking down the hallway, they are checking everywhere for baby formula, but they can't find any. But then Daryl comes across this room. As Daryl and Maggie carefully walk in the room, Daryl hears something from this closet, so he goes to investigate. Daryl opens this closet, but sees a possum in there. So Daryl grabs his crossbow and kills the possum. Maggie jokes, saying, well, I'm not putting that in my bag. As Maggie is looking around, she opens the shelves and she sees mad baby formula and baby supplies in these cabinets. Maggie screams, Billy, Emily, David, come over here, look. Me and Daryl found some baby formula. Daryl screams, and Daryl screams jokingly, saying, "And I also found some extra food." As Billy Greene comes in the room, he's like, "You call that fucking food? That's a fucking possum." Oh, hell no. I'm not putting that in my bag. Good luck with that. "Here, sis, let me help you." Emily says, "Good find." Maggie says, "Thanks. Here's hoping this should be enough for the baby." As David and Billy Greene help by putting some of the baby supplies in the car, David turns around and he's like, Billy. Billy Greene's like, "What? What is it now? If it's a walker, just fucking kill it." As Billy Greene and David sees this woman with a hood, David's like, ma'am? Are you lost? This woman says no. Billy Greene's like, "What up with the two walkers there? Hello, ma'am?" She's not responding, David. Well, what do we do? Dave's like, "I don't know. Do you think we should call Daryl, Maggie? I don't know, man." Billy Greene says, lady, we're gonna have to, ask you to lower your weapons, please." As Michonne grabs her swords and kills these two walkers. Maggie is aiming her gun at this woman, and Maggie's like, "Don't move." As Daryl also comes out and he's aiming his crossbow at this lady. This lady removes her hood, and it's revealed to be Michonne. Michonne's like, "Listen, I don't want any trouble. I'm looking for somebody." Daryl's like, "Yeah, does this person have a name?" Michonne doesn't say anything. But then that's when Michonne's like, "I don't want any trouble either. I'm just looking for somebody." Me and her got separated. Then Daryl's like, "Well, if you're looking for your friend, put those weapons down. Now, if what you're telling us is true, just put down those weapons. No need to make things harder." As Michonne drops her sword. Well, katana. As David and Emily and Daryl, Maggie, and Billy Greene are talking, they're like, "What should we do? We don't know this person." Maggie's like, "Yeah, we don't know who she is." Daryl's like, "Well, if we take her back to the prison, I don't know, maybe maybe we can keep her prisoner." Maggie's like, "I don't know, man, there's too much going on as it is. There's too much going on. We just lost people. We don't, plus the last thing we need is to bring an unarmed stranger into the prison." Daryl's like, "Yeah. Here's the thing. We'll take her back for now, but she's not coming into prison. Instead, she can wait outside the gates. We could let Rick know that, hey, we found this person. She's looking for a friend. Is there any way we can, guide her in the right direction?" Maggie's like, "Yeah, that would actually be better." Daryl's like, "Okay, Michonne?" Michonne says Michonne. Daryl's like, "Right, you can come with us, but we need to hold on to this weapon for now, okay? To be fair, we don't know you, and we don't know if we can trust you. So yeah, we're gonna hold on to this weapon, and we're just gonna take a ride. Is that good with you?" Michonne says, "Yeah, that's good by me." As Daryl, Maggie, Billy Greene, Michonne, Emily, and David get in the car and they just drive away. The next shot is back to prison, and Tara is just upset and broken as she continues to look at the blood on the ground. She is just not in a good mindset. As Tara slowly gets up, she hears a walker. Hey, hey, hey. As Tara opens the door, she sees Guillermo as a walker. As Tara begins to cry. But then that's when Tara grabs her knife and stabs Walker Guillermo in the head, as she also kills the other two walkers. But then she starts to kneel down and she begins to cry. And she is just upset and broken. The next shot pans out with Sophia slowly walking back to the main cell block. She sees a walker, but then she just straight up grabs her mom's knife and kills the walker. As she makes it back to the main cell block, everyone's looking at her like, oh my gosh, Sophia, are you okay? Little Billy's like, Sophia? And then that's when Rick is like, Sophia, wait, where's your mom? Sophia looks at Rick and everybody else, and she's like, she didn't make it. Meaning, she's gone. She's gone. Rick's like, kiddo, what are you talking about? Sophia then says, Dexter, he killed my mom. He killed her right in front of me. She's gone, Rick. Oh, she's gone. Oh. As Rick comforts Sophia. As do Carl and Andrea and Tyrese and everybody else. And Sophia just walks away sad. The next shot pans out where Rick is talking with Tyrese and John and Herschel and Andrea. And John's like, Rick, what are you thinking? Rick says, I'm thinking I don't know, pardon me, screwed up. And regardless if I screwed up or not, that poor little girl lost her mother. Tyrese is like, what do you suggest? Rick then says, I suggest we kill Dexter and Thomas. We killed them. John says, damn right we do. They deserve to die for what they did. They need to go. I don't care if I have to do it myself. I will kill those fuckers. If I have to. Tyrese says, I'll back you guys up. Herschel doesn't say anything. He just walks away. The next shot is back at Woodbury. Avesta grabs a lockpick and she just breaks into the governor's room. As she's looking around, she sees her katanas and she's like, Mr. Guys. As the names are on her katanas being Bleeder and Ahsoka. She then comes across this notebook. And as she opens the notebook, she sees a list of names. And on those names, she sees Alice and Dr. Stevens. And then she also sees the words on them, that being escaped. But then she sees another name. And as the camera zooms in, the name she's looking at says Penny on it. She then notices this door, and she notices it is locked. Before she can use her lockpick to get into the room, that's where she hears footsteps. She runs to the back area of the room as the governor, Merle, Bruce, and this new character named Milton all come in the room. Milton is talking with the governor, and he says, "Sir, I'm working on a project. Can you please postpone the party just for tonight?" The governor says, "Not a chance. I've been playing this party for like 2 weeks now. Come on." It's just, Milton then says, it's just, the governor then says, just what? What does he have to do? Merle then says, come on, Milty. At least have some fun. The governor then says, yeah, just have some fun. I promise. I'll help you out with your project first thing tomorrow morning. But for now, come on. Let's go enjoy the party. Milton's like, yeah. Yeah. As Milton, Bruce, Merle, and the governor all leave. But before Avesta can leave the room herself, she notices this picture. And it is of the governor with his family. And Avesta, it's just getting this feeling of something weird going on here. As Avesta leaves the room, she goes down the stairs. But then the next shot pans out where Avesta is walking around. And she sees something that catches her attention. She sees caged walkers locked up. Avesta's like, what the fuck? But then Avesta just opens the thing. And she just grabs her katanas and straight up kills all the walkers in a badass fashion. Tim opens the door and he just drops his bucket and he's like, holy shit. The next shot pans out where the governor is talking with Avesta and the governor's like, you going through someone else's property? That's something I don't appreciate. Avesta is then like, oh, you tell that to all your people? Or just all the girls? The governor's like, you got the wrong impression about me and about this place. With me, I'm just a guy that's trying to protect his people. Maybe you can understand that. Avesta then says, oh, did you tell that to Penny? Who is she? The governor's then like, you know about Penny? Avesta's then like, not much. All I know is he had her name in that little notebook. Was that her on that little family portrait? Let me ask you this. What happened? What happened to Penny? The governor says, Penny was my daughter. And I lost her. That's all you need to know. However, you did indeed handled yourself well with these katanas. Hell, skills like yours, you will make a fantastic addition to this community. Plus, from what I heard, your brother speaks very, very highly of you. Has nothing but good things to say about you. And then that's where Avesta just gets out from her chair and just straight up grabs both her katanas. But then that's where Avesta aims one of her katanas towards the governor's throat. And she's like, if you ever talk about my brother again, I'll slit your throat. And if I find out that you are not who you say you are, I will fucking burst your eyeball out. As Avesta lowers her katana and just straight up walks out the door, slamming the door behind her, and she just walks away. Merle then enters the room and he asks the governor, is there a problem? The governor says no. Get me Johnny, please. The next shot pans out where the governor's talking with Johnny, and Johnny's like, what's up, governor? The governor's like, we need to speak. Johnny says, okay. In regards to what? The governor then says, in regards to your sister, Avesta. She broke into my place and took her katanas back without permission. She also released a cage with biters and killed them all. Johnny says, okay. I mean, sure, it was just a few biters, but you sound aggravated. The governor says, I am. The point is, I'm trying to have a conversation to her about it, and she pulls one for katanas on me. Can't tell that surprises you. Johnny's like, she never did that before. Why would she do that? The governor lies, saying, I don't know. But what I do know is some people want her to leave, and I don't want that. However, she put me against the wall here. Johnny's like, what are you saying? The governor says, what I'm saying, what works out there doesn't happen in here. As you know, we're not barbarians. Next shot pans out with Avesta walking towards the gate as Johnny Dugan is like, Avesta, sis, hold up. The governor says you broke into his place? What is up with that? Avesta's like, this place is not what he says it is. How can you not see that? Oh, that's right. You're fucking high again on crystal meth. Johnny's like, I'm not high this time. You're freaking people out. You're freaking me out. Now you want to just, what, randomly leave? After I just got you back? Sure. I did leave you once. Sure, that was back in Atlanta, but it was in an intense, impossible situation. A situation neither of us had control over. However, if you walk out those gates, you will be the one leaving. You will be the one leaving. Not me. This time it will be you. And to be fair, I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to go. You're my sister. Sure, we were never close when we were kids, but come on. If you leave, I will be mad. Which is why I'm asking you now. Please stay. Avesta's like, I don't know if I can, bro. I don't know if I can. Johnny's like, come on. At least do it for me. Please. The next shot is back into prison, and we see Rick, Tyrese, John Miller, and Andrea walking down this hallway. They then, as they're walking down the hallway, they see like 3 walkers. Rick grabs his knife and kills one of the walkers. Tyrese then grabs his weapon and kills the second walker, but then that's when John Miller grabs his gun and just shoots the walker in the head. As they are continuing to walk down the hallway, that's where Rick and the others notice Carol's dead body, and they are like, no, not you too. Not you too. They didn't hear something as Rick and the others turn around. They see Axel and Oscar there. Rick is like, what are you guys doing here? Oscar's like, we figured you would need some assistance. Axel then notices Carol's dead body, and he's like, Dexter did this? What the fuck? Oscar is in complete and utter shock. Rick's like, yeah, he would do the same to you guys if we don't do something now. Rick then says, you two stay with us, but don't try anything funny. Oscar's like, don't worry, we're not. And then out of nowhere, that's where they hear the sirens going on again, and Rick's like, oh fuck, not again. As Rick, John, Tyrese, Andrea, Axel, and Oscar are running down the hall, but then that's where they hear Dexter on the hall comm, and he's like, howdy, and hello. Yes, as you can hear, it's me. But only this time, you're all going to die. As the crew enter the dark hallway, they shine their flashlights and see multiple walkers in front of them. That's where Tyrese and Rick kill multiple walkers. John Miller, in a badass fashion, kills 2 walkers. Same with Andrea. And then that's where we see Axel and Oscar killing multiple walkers as well. As they continue to push forward, that's where they also see more walkers. So they kill them all as well. They continue to kill mad walkers as Mad Bloody get on their clothes, and they're like, damn. Rick is screaming, ah! As he just continues to kill mad walkers. As they enter the communications room, they notice that Dexter is not there. Rick is looking at the thing as he is trying to turn it off. That's where he gets jumped by Thomas Richards. And Thomas Richards is like, me, prick. This is what happens when you fucking punch me in the face. But then that's where John Miller jumps Thomas Richards, and John Miller just punches him in the face multiple times. And John Miller is like, why? Why would you kill that little girl? Why would you kill Chris? Tell me now. And then I'll fucking kill you. Why? Because I wanted to. We get this flashback where we see Thomas Richards with Chris and Rachel Greene. Thomas Richards is like, hey guys, why don't you come with me? I know this little barber shop place in prison. Who knows, probably your friend here could get a haircut. Rachel Greene's like, ooh, haircuts. I don't like a haircut. Come on, Chris, please, come on. I'm sure you'll be fine with my dad. Chris is like, fine. Just this once. Hey, what'd you say your name was again? Thomas Richards. But then we get then we get this next shot flashback where Thomas Richards closes the door, and then that's where he grabs his knife and slits Chris's throat open. Rachel Greene is looking at Chris's dead body as mad blood's coming out. Rachel Greene wants to scream, but then that's where Thomas Richards is like, I have you now. You know, your friend here really should have been more cautious. Now, you're gonna die. As Thomas Richards grabs his knife and slits Rachel Greene's throat, as she also collapses on the floor, and Thomas Richards straight up leaves the room. Tyrese, getting mad and angry at this, he kicks Thomas Richards in the face as John Miller punches Thomas Richards in the face as well. John Miller grabs Thomas Richards and throws him out the room. Oscar is looking at Thomas Richards and he is just disgusted at him. He calls him a traitor and a fucking murderer, and he's about to get what he deserves. But then that's where Thomas Richards kicks Oscar in the important part. But then Rick shuts off the comms as Axel is trying to attack Thomas Richards. That's where Thomas Richards gets the upper hand and grabs Axel by the throat, and he just punches him in the face as Thomas Richards just begins to run down the hallway. John Miller and Tyrese scream after him. Now! He heads to the main cell block as Rick screams, no, as he also runs as fast as possible. But then we get the next shot. As it's panning out, we see Dexter with his shotgun, and he is looking at everybody in the main cell block, and he's like, listen here, everyone. It's pretty simple. Do what I say now, and the kid won't die. Or sorry, kids. Is it? Alan's like, if you fucking hurt my son, I will gut you. Dexter's like, yeah, nice try. Well, guess what? Your son's about to lose his head. Unless you don't want him to lose his head, I suggest you fucking listen. Now, Alex finally stands up for himself and for the kids by saying, leave them the fuck alone. Now, Dexter's like, okay, Alex, you want to defend these people so much? Why don't you join them? Alex then gets mad. He just snaps at Dexter in this moment. He's like, yeah? Well, maybe I will. It's better than being with you in fucking Thomas Richards. Yeah, that's right. I heard what Thomas Richards did to that little girl and to that guy. I also heard what you did to Carol. A woman. A really decent woman who had a daughter. Now, so poor little Sophia will never meet her own mom again. Because of you. Because of what you did. Dexter screams, shut up! Now! I'm being serious. Now, unless you don't want this little girl to lose her head, I suggest you all stand down. Now. Alan says, go to hell. As Dexter smiles and he just laughs. You know, you really should just listen to me. Right now, though, you and your little kid are about to feel the nice warm taste of a little as Dexter collapses on the floor. Everybody is looking around, and then that's where they noticed Sophia. They also noticed that Sophia just shot Dexter through the heart. As Dexter collapses on the floor, dead. The next shot pans out, where we see Rick, John Miller, Tyrese, Andrea, Axel, and Oscar walking to one of the cell blocks. They see multiple dead people just there, and they're just all dead. Rick is like, did you do this to all these people? Thomas Richards is like, no, I didn't. But if I did, I would have been enjoying every minute of it. You know, Rick, for a leader, you must not be doing all that good of a job. If you knew it was me, maybe that little girl and that guy would still be alive. As Thomas Richards comes out of nowhere and hits Andrea in the leg, he also hits Tyrese through the face numbers of times. Then that's where he punches Axel in the face, and then that's where he kicks Rick in the face, and he's like punching and punching and punching Rick numbers of times in the face. And Thomas Richards is like, how does it feel, huh? How does it feel? And he's like, boom, punching Rick in the face again. But then that's where John Miller tackles Thomas Richards on the ground, as Thomas Richards hits John Miller numbers of times through the nose, and then that's where Thomas Richards gets up and kicks John in the face. But then that's where John also gets a lucky sucker punch in. But then that's where Thomas Richards kicks John Miller through the floor. But in doing so, he hits his back on one of the metal bars, and he's like, ah! As Thomas Richards grabs his knife, and it looks like he's about to kill John. However, we get this crazy scene. But then that's where we hear gunfire as Thomas Richards gets shot up multiple times through the back, and he just collapses on the floor. And then we get this reveal that it was Tara that just killed Thomas Richards, Tara says, "Oh, that made me feel a lot better." Prick. Solidifying that Tara just saved Rick, John, Tyrese, and the others. Tyrese is looking at Thomas Richards, and he also notices that Thomas Richards is coughing out mad blood. Tyrese just kicks Thomas Richards numbers of times in the face and in the chest. Rick punches Thomas Richards in the face. John Miller gets up and straight up punches Thomas Richards numbers of times as he's coughing out mad blood. As he's still alive, we see someone coming from behind Tara, and it is revealed to be Beth. Beth is like, "This is for my sister. This is for Otis." As she grabs her gun and pulls the trigger, shooting Thomas Richards in the head. Thomas Richards being dead. The next shot pans out where Rick gets back to the main cell block, and then that's where he sees Dexter's dead body. And then Rick is telling everyone to grab Dexter's body and throw it outside of the gates. Rick then tells Herschel, "We found the man that killed your little girl. He's dead." Herschel says, "Good." The next shot pans out where Rick and the others throw Thomas Richards' body out of the gate as mad walkers are devouring his body whole. We then see Daryl, Maggie, Emily, David, and Billy Greene return. They get out of the car and they show Rick and the others the baby formula and all the other supplies. Daryl's like, "Where's Carol?" Herschel's like, she didn't make it." Daryl's like, No. 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 Oh no. Girl. Oh. No. Rick then says Dexter shot her in the head in cold blood. So, as Sophia watched, Daryl's like, and then Daryl's just mad. He looks at Dexter's dead body, but then that's where we see the scene of Dexter reanimating into a walker. Daryl just snaps. He just pushes Dexter down on the ground as Daryl grabs his knife and just stabs Walker Dexter multiple times in the head until he can't stop. As he finally stops, he's like, The next shot is nighttime, and we pick up with the scene of Avesta with Johnny and with everyone else at Woodbury. And Johnny's like, "What changed your mind?" Avesta's like, "Well, might as well enjoy this moment, right?" As Johnny smiles. As they are walking around the community, talking like family members and catching up, like, you know, from old times. That's where we see the governor looking outside the window as he is walking straight down his room. We see Roland in his bed, but then we also see the governor open this door, and he is just sitting down. However, he looks at these fish tanks, but there's no fishes in the tanks. What he sees in the fish tanks are walker heads. And he is looking at each one of them, and he is like, not saying a word. He just has this evil look on his face while looking at these walker heads. And boom, that is the end of the episode. The next episode, Rick is going to be talking with everyone else in regards to Michonne. And don't worry, I've not forgotten about that part. And trust me, in the next episode, Rick and the others are going to talk about Michonne. So stay tuned for that, because Season 3, Episode 6 of my Walking Dead reboot series titled Arrow on My Doorstep is coming. So please, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, stay safe, and as always, peace out.